Hello student, this is our fifth lecture on direct and bending stresses. Now we will solve this problem number 9. Calculate limit of eccentricity of a rectangular cross section of size 1000 mm by 2000 mm and sketch it. This question was asked in exam of summer 15 and summer 14 for 4 marks. So first of all, we will draw one figure. So this is a rectangular section of 2000 by 1000 mm and we have to find out limit of eccentricity. So for finding out limit of eccentricity means there should not be any tensile stresses in column for no tension condition. So for no tension condition, we know the formula sigma minimum is equal to direct stress minus bending stress. That means this direct stress must be greater than this bending stress. In that case only this sigma min will be positive. So sigma d should be greater than or equal to sigma b. We know the formula for direct stress, that is load divided by area. Put it here. And formula for bending stress, m by I multiplied by y. Also bending moment m can be written as load multiplied by perpendicular distance eccentricity E. So m is replaced by P multiplied by E. Therefore this P get cancelled. So this equation become I divided by A by Y should be greater than or equal to E. Now there will be two cases. If eccentricity is along this x-axis, and suppose if we place our force here, and second case, if our eccentricity is along this y-axis, if we place our force here, that will be along y-axis. So case number first, for eccentricity along x-axis, this x-axis. So if eccentricity is along x-axis means we may place our force here. So moment of inertia of this point about this axis, y-axis, means Iyy. Formula for Iyy is dB cube divided by 12. And area of this section 2000 multiplied by 1000. And y means extreme fiber distance. Here our eccentricity is along x-axis, means this is our extreme fiber, or this is also our extreme fiber. So distance of this extreme fiber from the axis, so this distance is y. So in this case this is 2000 divided by 2. This is our B and this is our D. This is our D depth and this is B breadth. So put all these values in this equation number first. This equation become dB cube divided by 12, B multiplied by D multiplied by this value of y, B by 2 should be greater than or equal to E. Here this one B and this one B, this 2B and B cube, this cube get cancelled, this D and this D get cancelled, this 2 and this 12, here 6. Therefore this equation become b by 6 should be greater than or equal to e. So put the value of b, 2000 divided by 6 should be greater than or equal to e. Therefore e should be less than 333.33 mm along x-axis. This is a answer if our eccentricity is along x-axis, this x-axis. Now suppose second case, our eccentricity is along this y-axis. Here this is our eccentricity along this y-axis. In that case, this force is eccentric with respect to this x-axis, it is along y-axis. So this moment of inertia of this point about this x-axis, the formula for that, Ixx is equal to BD cube divided by 12, area remains same, breadth multiplied by depth, and y is, in this case extreme fibers are these two. So distance of this fiber or this fiber from this axis. So this is the distance of extreme fiber from this axis, means this is a y. So here in this case y is equal to this d, this total length is d by 2. Y is equal to d by 2. So put all these values in equation number 1. So equation number 1 become BD cube divided by 12, b multiplied by d multiplied by d by 2 should be greater than equal to e. So after simplifying this, we get d by 6 should be greater than or equal to e. So put the value of here, d is equal to 1000 divided by 6. So eccentricity should be less than, e should be less than or equal to 1.66.67 along y-axis. This is our along y-axis. Problem number 10. Determine the limit of eccentricity for hollow circular section having capital D is equal to 300 mm and small d means internal diameter, capital D means external diameter, small d is equal to 100 mm. This question is from winter 14 paper. This was for 4 marks. So they have given capital D is equal to 300 mm and small d is equal to 100 mm. So we will draw this one circle. This is of diameter 100 and this one is of diameter 300 mm. So as we seen in previous problem, for no tension condition, sigma mean should be positive, means direct stress should be greater than or equal to sigma b. This also we have seen in previous 2 problem. So P divided by A should be greater than or equal to P multiplied by E multiplied by Y divided by I. Denote as this equation number 1. Now for hollow circular section, moment of inertia, formula for moment of inertia, pi by 64 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. Now and for hollow circular section, extreme fiber distance y is equal to capital D by 2 and area is equal to pi by 4 capital D square minus small d square. So put all these values in this equation. So after putting this value, this p get cancelled, so this pi get cancelled. Then put all this value of this d this capital D and this small d. Only here this small e is remaining. So after solving this equation, we get e should be this, e should be less than or equal to 41.65 or 2 is equal to 83.33 mm. For hollow circular section having capital D 300 mm and small d 100 mm, the core of section is circular of diameter 2e, that is 83 mm, diameter 83 or radius this 41.65. Now take this 41.65 in compass and draw here this circle. This is our core of section. This is the core of section. Problem number 11. A C clamp as shown in figure number 2 carries a load of P is equal to 25 kN. The cross section of clamp at XX is rectangular, having width equal to twice of thickness. Assuming that C clamp is made up of steel casting with an allowable stress of 100 Newton per mm square. Find its dimension B and T. This question was asked for 4 marks in exam of winter 19 and winter 16. They have provided figure. So in this figure, at section XX, the section is rectangular and depth is T and breadth, and this breadth they have given having width equal to twice of thickness, means this thickness. So this width is twice of thickness, means this should be 2t and this t. This is a top view of this section. This is a sectional top view at here. So given data is, they have given this load P is equal to 25 kN, convert it into Newton, 25 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Now eccentricity E, as this force is applied here and we have to find out the dimension of here. So this is our axis. So distance of this axis from the point of application of this load, this is a 150. So our in this case our eccentricity is equal to 150. So is equal to 150 and allowable stress is 100 mm. Allowable means maximum permissible. Maximum permissible means sigma max. Sigma max is 100 Newton per mm square. And here they have given this width equal to twice of thickness. Therefore B is equal to this B is equal to 2t. This breadth or width is equal to 2t. So this diagram can be simplified. This is a top view from this section XX. This is a T or depth D and this is a B. B is 2 times of thickness and load is applied here at eccentricity of 150. This is the axis and this is our load. So this load is eccentric along x-axis. So the moment of this point about this y axis, formula for moment of inertia about y axis dB cube divided by 12. So put the value of d and b. D means t, thickness, and b is equal to 2 times t cube divided by 12. So this equation become t multiplied by 8t cube divided by 12. Therefore Iyy is equal to 2 by 3 t raised to 4. This is value of Iyy, moment of inertia. Now extreme fiber distance. As this force is eccentric along this x-axis, therefore extreme fiber is this one and this one. So the distance of this extreme fiber from this axis means this much of distance. So total distance is 2t. So 2t divided by 2 means this one distance. Therefore this 2 get cancelled. Therefore this distance is t. Y is equal to same 2t divided by 2. Therefore y is equal to t. Now we know that sigma max is equal to direct stress plus bending stress. Direct stress is given in problem, which is equal to 100, and formula for direct stress load divided by area, and formula for bending stress m by I multiplied by y. So put all the values in this equation. This equation become 100 is equal to 25 into 10 raised to 3 divided by t multiplied by 2t plus 25 into 10 raised to 3 multiplied by 150 multiplied by t divided by, this is the moment of inertia, 2 divided by 3 t raised to 4. This t get cancelled, this is cube, then this 2 it get cancelled and it become 12500. So this equation, so multiplying this equation by t cube divided by 100. So this equation become t cube is equal to 125t plus 56250. So this is a quadratic equation, t cube minus 125t minus 56250 is equal to 0. Now after solving this equation, we get t is equal to 39.41 mm. So this is our thickness, and breadth is 2 times thickness. Therefore 2t is equal to 78.82. So these are our two final answers. Problem number 12. A rectangular column 150 mm wide and 100 mm thick carries a load of 150 kilonewton at an eccentricity of 50 mm in the plane bisecting the thickness. Find maximum and minimum intensities of stress at the base section. Draw combined stress distribution diagram showing this value. This question was asked 3 times, winter 19, summer 17 and summer 15 for 6 marks. So first of all we will find out given data. A rectangular column 150 mm wide and 100 mm thick means breadth is equal to 150 mm and depth is this 100, and load is given, and load 150 kilonewton. Therefore P is equal to 150 kilonewton. Convert it into Newton. 150 into 10 raised to 3 Newton eccentricity is this one, eccentricity 50 mm, and here we have to find out sigma max, this sigma max, sigma minimum and stress distribution diagram. Here I have drawn figure. This is a width 150 mm and depth, this depth is 100 mm, and eccentricity of 50 mm in a plane bisecting the thickness. This is our thickness and this x-axis plane bisect this thickness. So our eccentricity on x-axis and 50 mm from this axis. So this is our force P. Now we know the formula of area. This width multiplied by this depth is equal to 15,000 mm square, and formula for direct stress, load divided by area. Load is 150 into 10 raised to 3, this one, and area is this 15,000. Therefore sigma D direct stress is equal to 10 Newton per mm square. Now the moment of inertia of this P about this y axis, Iyy is equal to dB cube divided by 12. Put the value of D and B in this equation. 100 into 150 cube divided by 12. Therefore Iyy is equal to 28.13 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now Ymax means eccentricity is on x-axis. So these are extreme fibers. So distance of these extreme fiber from the axis, so this distance is y. So it is 150 divided by 2. So 150 divided by 2, 75 mm. Now bending stress sigma B is equal to m by I multiplied by y. M can be written as P multiplied by E, force multiplied by perpendicular distance multiplied by this y divided by I. So put value of force 150 into 10 raised to 3, this is P, eccentricity 50, this, and y 75, and moment of inertia 28.13 into 10 raised to 6. Therefore bending stress is 20 Newton per mm square. Now we know the formula for sigma max, maximum stress intensity, direct stress plus bending stress. So sigma max is 10 plus 20, therefore sigma max is 13 Newton per mm square. This is a maximum stress in our column. Now for minimum stress, direct stress minus bending stress. So 10 multiplied by 20, it gives minus 10 Newton per mm. This is our minimum stress in member. This is minus means this is a tensile in nature, and this is positive means this is compressive in nature. Now we have to draw stress distribution diagram. For stress distribution diagram, I have drawn this section. This is 150, this is 100, and first mark one reference line. By taking this projection, mark this reference line, and after that mark this sigma max. Sigma max is 30 and it is compressive. Mark compressive load below this reference line and mark this tensile load. Mark this tensile load above reference line. Now as we know, the maximum stress is this side, so this 30, and this is compressive means below this reference line. Mark 30 here, and minimum stress is on this side, and it is minus means above reference line, so mark 10 minus 10 here, and after that join this. So this is our stress distribution diagram.